Hi fellow traders, I hope everybody had a good day today in the market. This was a pretty exciting day. We had a big runner, LFIN, that just made an incredible move. And then we had RIOT, but this turned out to be the best day of the year in terms of day trading for me in the market. And I missed most of it, which is odd, but we'll go over our trades and stuff here in a second. But, the little quotes and messages I usually have at the beginning of my videos is usually inspired by a trader that I was mentoring that day, or maybe 2 or 3 traders that I mentored that day before I get to do this video at night might have inspired me in the same way. But tonight, I really felt bad for this guy because he let this one tweet really beat him down. I told him, it made me think of this quote. And it's attributed to Helen Keller, but then some people say it's not, but so I didn't put anybody's name on it. But, it goes, a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. And, you want to start thinking about, why do we have these major turns in the road? Wouldn't it be easier just to make the road straight? It'd be a lot easier to do. But they had to make these curves and stuff because there's probably something there that it was easier for them to make the road around it versus fixing whatever is there so that the road can go straight. So whenever we run into things that we may not be able to fix, we can always go around it and then get to the other side. There's always a way to get to where you want to be in life. And, the guy that wrote the tweet, I respect him as a trader and all that. But, this I think is going in the wrong direction. But in a nutshell, he said that you can't make a trader, and there's a specific trait that you have to have in order to be a trader, and that it's going to take, you can teach it, mentor it, and unlock whatever potential that you already have, but you can't create it. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Me, with all the experience I've had in teaching and dealing with students who had all of these mental disabilities and things that people said that things that they didn't feel they could ever do, that they didn't have the mental capacity to do. It's amazing what people can do once you have somebody that can believe in them and show them that, hey, you can make it. It's just different for everybody. Everybody's bend in the road is going to look different. It's not going to look the same. And that's the beautiful thing about our community is that, everybody in there is different. We're all going to have different bends, different forks in the road. We're going to see things differently. We're going to interpret things differently. And by us sharing it, it just enriches and broadens our life. But it also made me think about a quote that Einstein, one of the greatest minds in the world, said. He says everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing that it's stupid. So you can't sell yourself short. trading is something that anybody can do. Anybody can be a trader. It's just going to take more to get some, to develop the skills in order to be able to do it. And just because somebody can't be a day trader doesn't mean they're stupid or a failure in trading. If you can't connect the day trading, then swing trading is a totally different animal. Investing is a totally different animal. You can find something within yourself. You know, and if you let, you can't allow your failures in one aspect to kill your positive attitude. You can't let somebody tell you that, well, if you can't get it, then you just can't get it. It's not meant for you. That couldn't be further from the truth. You know, some people, it may take longer, depending on how you grew up, depending on the skills that you developed growing up, what you exercised growing up. That's going to determine, you know, how much time it's going to take. You know, the problem with traders is they come in and they start trying to trade with money. They don't spend the time learning, or if they get in the simulator, they don't spend enough time in there. They rush out trying to make some money, or they follow somebody that's posting these ungodly gains, and you feel, well, if I just follow him, I can do the same thing. I don't have to put time in. You have to put the time in. And there's no timetable. You know, people ask me all the time, you know, Ed, how long is it going to take me to be profitable? I've been doing this for 3 months. How much longer? I don't know. You know, if I work with you, I might be able to tell you, but I just can't tell you. You know, some people have been trading for 2 years and they haven't been able to be consistently profitable. You know, it's not that you can't do it. You just haven't developed the right skills that's going to allow you to do it. Everybody has the ability in them to do and be whatever they want. You know, if I can get a kid with autism to design and build something as simple as a bridge out of popsicle sticks that can hold 100 pounds. You know, this kid can design it and come up with and solve problems. Anybody can do it. You know, so everybody, just remember, everybody is a genius. I know a lot of us, we get, you know, filled with disappointment when our goals that we set for ourselves, we don't accomplish them. You know, and our dreams just seem further and further away. You know, that feeling that you get deep down inside when you felt you had potential and you knew how hard you studied and how much time you put in, and that your trading results is not really a reflection of how much work you put in. It'll be easy to say, well, it's just not for you. You just don't have the aptitude. This is just, you know, it's like not everybody can be a doctor. Not everybody can be a lawyer. You know, some people have to be plumbers. You know, that's the crappiest thing you could tell somebody. And it's not true. You know, and then what happens is you start filling yourself with self-doubt. And then you start wondering whether you're smart enough or whether you have enough talent, or psychologically whether you're fit to pursue this. You know, basically you just stop believing in yourself. And when that happens, you feel your dreams are unattainable. You know, because if you really think about it, you're all you've got. You know, people could tell you, your future, but it's pointless if you let these little voices, eat away at you. So don't let things like that beat you down. Anybody can be a trader. You may not be a day trader. You may be a swing trader. You may not be able to be a swing trader. You may be, a long-term investor. There's your niche somewhere in there. And everybody has it. The reason why the failure rate's 90% is just lack of patience. It's a big lack of patience, and people starting out trading with their money because they don't want to make money on paper and it's not real, and there's just so many things that really mess you up. And that's what I see that because I work with professionally. It's not just a talking in passing. We have real life professional mentoring sessions. And all these sessions look different depending on the person, what they need. Some people need 100 times more work than others. But the fact is, they have that ability. So never think that you can't go around it, even if you see a roadblock. That's how these turns in the road came to place. They came into a point where they felt it was easier just to go around and come out on the other side. That's what we have to do. No two ways about it. All right, so we are almost halfway through our 12 days before Christmas. I'm giving out gifts. I'm not saying I'm knocking 30-40% off of my already overpriced products so you can buy them. I'm giving gifts away. That's what it's about. The spirit of Christmas is the spirit of giving, so I'm giving out different subscriptions throughout these 12 days. And today, one monthly subscriber got a free quarterly subscription for the first quarter. Last week we gave out some yearly subscriptions for 2018, and we'll be getting back around to that, and we'll be getting to the larger prize on Christmas. So today, the monthly subscriber who will get a free quarterly subscription for Q1 in 2018 is Jason J. And on these, if you notice, I will put your screen name up. I'm not going to put your legal name out there. Somebody may want to stalk you. But Jason opened a present today, and he's got a quarter subscription for Q1 2018. Alright, so let's get to the trades here. So I knew going into the day that I had an appointment and I couldn't spend the morning here. It was probably going to be after lunch before I came. So my goal this morning was to get into a pre-market trade. Try to find a real solid setup in pre-market. Get in it, see if I could, make some money this morning and lock it up so I wouldn't have to worry about it. Well, we got in RIOT. This stock gapped up from Friday, and I'll talk about the swing trades on this in a minute. But we got a little pullback and I got long. Right here. We had a little pullback, then we came back through. Oh, here it is. I'm too far ahead of myself. I got, we had a little pullback here and we started pushing back up. So I got long here off of the 20 in the VWAP. And we just kind of worked our way up, and it was pretty tough, getting up there. So I ended up taking half off just to make sure I locked in some profit. That, we made some profit. I wanted to lock it in if we ended up coming back, because this was struggling. This should have made a stronger move up. So we end up pulling back, getting stopped out at break even. We pull back, coming into the open, get below VWAP. But there are no shares of this for me to short. So this was a long trade all along. So I ended up closing out my swing position because we pulled back below, let's see, 31.60, I think. Or 30, I can't remember what the price was. But I will look at it on the swing trade. But I did take it off, and I waited for the open. And I said, well, I believe this riot's going to run up. I'm going to trade it here. I'm going to treat it like an all-day trade. So I just get in it, set my stop, set my first profit target, and then let it go. I could go to my my appointment and not really worry about it. It's either going to stop me out or we're going to reach my target. So I put my target so far away that, on my swing trade, then I shouldn't hit it. But on this day trade, I was like, I'm just going to leave it, set my stop, and then later on in the day, we should make a move. And I was looking for like 36, possibly 37. And so I was in this trade all while I was gone. I didn't take my computer, didn't look at it on my phone. The deal was I was going to come back, and wherever it was, I was going to manage it as long as we're in the trade. So you can see while I was gone, I missed this push to 36, which would have been a perfect place to take some profit off. But I didn't get home until just after 1 o'clock. And I think we were on this candle here when I got home and logged back in. And then we put in this red candle here. So I was thinking, we've been popping up, pulling back, popping up, pulling back. This should be a pretty decent, move here. But we started to pull back, and I went ahead and sold some here. So I just wanted to take some profit. I missed all of this. Took some profit here, which was over 2 points on this first. I got over 2 points on this. And the second one, I took 150 shares off at 35.50. I took 75 off at 36, and I was going to get 37 because I felt we would turn around and come back. I really felt we were going to turn around here, and I took it off, but as you can see, we didn't. Now, I managed this when I was scaling out the way I would, on a normal stock I'm trading. This is a low float stock, which I rarely trade. And it had rotated the float like 5 or 6 times. So I knew this thing had explosive moves in it, but I was expecting it to pull back to the 20 before we made this run up to 40. That's what I was expecting. But it didn't. We didn't get there. But we put in this nice flag. You can see I was out, so I waited. It got up here and started to pull back. We had this huge candle. Guess this was some profit taking. And then we started flagging here. And so I got in. We kept making higher lows, so I felt comfortable getting in off the 9. But this was too soon to take profit. I see that now. I should have at least waited until we got here through 39.60, maybe 39.75-ish. And then I probably wouldn't have taken profit as early here. But whenever you have an early cover, it kind of throws everything off. But I don't want to change the way I'm doing things, because this is once every blue moon that I will get in a stock for a day trade that has a low float like this. Because low float stocks can make these explosive moves. And the same way this exploded to the upside could have exploded to the downside. But I'm pretty pleased. I got the meat of this move. I got in 32.76. My final cover was 41.10. I mean, this is huge. It's huge. And, 1937.77 minus tax, minus commissions, 1878.37. So, awesome trade on this. But I made a mistake. I didn't wait long enough. As soon as the bell rang, I was excited to see what the P&L was. I brought it up and I saw it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like $130 away from having $2,000 for the day. So what did I go do? I went looking for a stock that has a catalyst aftermarket. And here was CBI. It spiked on a buyout announcement, and then we came all the way back and kind of was trying to base on the 200. So I got the trade here off the 200. I was looking for it to trace back to 1850 at a minimum, and that would have given me more than what I needed on this. But you can see it didn't. It just kind of faltered. And eventually, I just took it off. We had another one of these little blue dojis here that just, the price action was just dead. So I went ahead and just took it off. And, only made a couple of dollars on this. So ended up today 1890.21. I could have lost, which would have been detrimental. Trying to hit a target on here. And this is exactly why I say do not look at your P&L during the day. Because I could have easily given back several $100s on this. Trying to chase something. But all in all, pretty pleased. Very stoked about the start of this week. This takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the week. So I can just sit back and let things come to me. So this definitely takes a lot of pressure off. Alright, lastly, here is the swing trade. And I've talked about all of these. But on Thursday, this is where we got in. After this one swing trade, I got stopped out here on Wednesday. Thursday, I got in. Didn't take profit on Thursday. Friday, we gapped up. Was able to take profit here. And held it over the weekend. And we gapped up again over the weekend. This ran up, I guess, to like 33 or so. But it pulled back. And I was able to grab, take the profit off here. And then ended up resetting. I just took a whole new trade here. Closed this one out. Took a whole new trade. And got in what did I get in today? At 32.76. We got in at 32.76 on this, and we got a strong move up towards 40. So I got some off here at 40.01, kept running up, got the rest off at 46.03. But really, nailed this swing trade. I still have a piece waiting for tomorrow to see if we're going to gap up or if we're going to gap back down. But we are in that, we're in this zone to where it could pretty much do anything. It's real choppy. Citron came out with the negative tweet saying that they're going to short this. Forget Citron. They're losing a lot of its clout with all of these silly, shorts that they're doing. They tried to short this, which was it? GBTC. And we talked about this in the webinar this weekend. And it's one of those that follow. It's the Bitcoin Investment Trust. But in order to buy shares, it's like 100% the premium of the underlying Bitcoin. So you're actually spending way too much money. Way too much. But Citron shorted this. They've been waiting for it to go down. It's not. Just because they got VRX right back in the day, doesn't mean that they're at a point, where they can just call something and it happens. So after they made that announcement, this thing squeezed right up. So I definitely profited off of that. This has been this is even more solid. We've had some great swing trades and good setups, but this one, is taking the cake. But that was it for today. I am holding a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll dump it in the morning and just add back. Just waiting to see. Gotta wait till tomorrow morning and see how things set up. So that's gonna do it for me today. I hope you guys have a great night, a great evening, and I would love to nail another day tomorrow like we did today. That would just be the icing on the cake. But that's gonna do it. I will see you guys first thing in the morning.